And we are back. NFL Week 6 predictions. To quickly recap last week, I ended up going 7-7, putting my season total up to 59, 18, and 1. In case you're curious, the games I got wrong were the 49ers, Rams, the Giants, Saints, the Broncos, Eagles, Titans, Cardinals, Commanders, Chargers, Patriots, Bills, and Chiefs, Jaguars. However, I did get the Lions Bengals right. I did pick the Lions as my lock of the week, and they ended up winning. So I'm 5-0 in that aspect. Quickly hopping into Thursday Night Football. We do have two teams on a bye week, actually. We have the Vikings, who are 3-2, and the Texans, who are 2-3. They are on a bye this week, so no games for them. All right, Eagles and Giants. Eagles 4-1, Giants 1-4, both coming off of losses. Eagles, they kind of got screwed out of their win over the Broncos. Then again, they choked it themselves. It's just, there was a call at the end that was questionable. That could have set the Eagles up in a great spot. It's neither here or there. Wow, the Giants, well, they just really struggled against the Saints. Couldn't get anything going, really, offensively or defensively. I'm going to go with the Eagles here. Now, the only thing I could potentially think of is maybe the Giants were planning ahead and kind of saw the Saints as an easy game, and we're planning ahead to this one, so that could be something that happened. But I think the Eagles are going to win this one regardless. Broncos 3-2, Jets 0-5. October 12th, 9:30 a.m. All games in Eastern Standard Time. This is going to be, I believe, in London as well. I know it's an international game. The Broncos coming off of the upset win over the Eagles, 21-17. While the Jets, they're 0-5. I'm sure you can guess what happened last week. They got blown out by the Cowboys. I'm taking the Broncos. Yeah, the Jets haven't won a game for a reason. I don't think that's going to change this week. Broncos, on the other hand, they just beat arguably the best team in the league, so I think it only makes sense to pick them. Moving on to our 1 o'clock game, Seahawks-Jaguars. This is actually looking on paper to be a really good one. Seahawks 3-2, coming off of a narrow 38-35 loss to the Buccaneers, while the Jaguars 4-1, coming off of a come-from-behind 31-28 win over the Chiefs. I'm going to take the Seahawks here, though. I think the Seahawks have a bit more on the line because, being 4-2 is a lot better than 3-3. So I'm going to take the Seahawks. Plus, they, even with the worst record, have just looked better overall. Yeah. Moving on, we have the Chargers and the Dolphins. Chargers 3-2, coming off of back-to-back embarrassing losses. First, the Giants. This one putting up 10 points on the Commanders. They were up 10-0, and then they lost 27-10. Didn't score outside the first quarter. Dolphins 1-4 had a shootout against the Panthers, but they ultimately were not able to get it done. I'm going to take the Chargers here. If the Chargers lose 3 in a row to 3 embarrassing ways, that's my reaction. I mean, you go ahead and you beat your 3 division teams, and then you're going to lose these winnable games. That's insane to me. Rams-Ravens. Rams 3-2, coming off of an embarrassing Thursday night loss to the 49ers. Were the 49ers? I could have been out there for the 49ers. That's how injured they were. While the Ravens, they ended up getting blown out as well. Well, the Rams didn't get blown out, but the Ravens, they got blown out by the Texans. I'm taking the Rams because, no offense to the Ravens, I don't think they're beating the Rams, who I think are better than the Texans, so I think they're also going to get blown out this game. With that being said, I am going to be taking the Rams as my lock of the week. What lock of the week means is every week I pick one team only to win their game. If they win, great. If not, no. It's basically, if you've heard of the ESPN Eliminated Challenge, it's that, except if I get the game wrong, it doesn't end. I just tally my win-loss total. So, give me the Rams in this one. Next, we have Cardinals-Colts. Cardinals 2-3, coming off of a loss again, while the Colts 4-1, coming off of a great win over the Raiders. One team's looked really good. The other has looked mediocre at best. The Cardinals lost to the Titans, who, didn't have a win up till that point. I'm going to take the Colts. Now, with that being said, I am actually I'm feeling very good about the Cardinals this game. But I'm taking the Colts. It's a safe pick. I'm not gonna pick an upset that I'm feeling good about. I need to feel great about it. Cowboys are 2-2-1, coming off of a win over the Jets. Panthers 2-3, coming off of a win over the Dolphins. Give me the Cowboys. The Cowboys have just looked way better. Dak is arguably playing at an MVP type level. Meanwhile, the Panthers, they're very hit or miss. I think they're really going to struggle this game to stop that Cowboys offense. So I'm going to take the Cowboys. Moving on, we have Patriots, who are 3-2, as Saints, who are 1-4. Both teams coming off of wins. The Saints getting their first win over the Giants, 26-14, while the Patriots 23-20 win over the Bills that gives them their first loss. I think the Patriots are only going to go ahead and ride their momentum. Give me the Patriots, because why not? Final 1 o'clock game, we had the Browns, who are 1-4, who just traded away Joe Flacco. So their quarterback room is now Dylan Gabriel and Shadur Sanders, 2 rookies. So you better hope one of them pans out, or unless you're actually tanking or planning to get a different quarterback yourself. Steelers 3-1. They are coming off of a bye week. I'm taking the Steelers because, well, I actually like the Steelers defense. I know it hasn't played very well this season, but I think they're gonna, really come alive against these rookie quarterbacks. And I think they're just gonna be a nightmare for them. So give me the Steelers. Moving on to our 4:05 game, we only have one. Titans Raiders. This is gonna be a fun one. Titans 1-4, coming off of a win over the Cardinals, while the Raiders are 1-4, coming off of a loss over the Colts. I'm going to take the Raiders here. I don't really care if I get this game right or wrong. Both teams suck. Both teams are probably going to suck. I doubt this is going to be, either team making, something out of it. This is probably just going to decide draft placement. So, give me the Raiders because, sure. 4:25, we have 2 of them. We have the 49ers and Buccaneers. Both of them 4-1. Both of them coming off wins. 49ers 26-23 against the Rams, while the Buccaneers 38-35 against the Seahawks. I'm going to take the Buccaneers here. I think the Buccaneers are such a good team. I think that the rally they have, even when they're down and out, they still somehow make it a game, is unbelievable. So I'm going to take the Buccaneers. Plus the 49ers, I think, your injuries are finally going to catch up to you against, a non-division team. So, Bengals and Packers. Bengals 2-3, coming off of a loss to the Lions. The big thing is they picked up Joe Flacco from the Browns. He is projected to be the starter this week, I've heard. Looking to beat the Packers twice this season, who are coming off of a bye week, who are 2-1-1. I'm, of course, going to back my team. I'm a Packers fan, so I'm going to take the Packers. Just know I'm going to be very, 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 very mad if the Packers lose this game. Not necessarily because they lose, but because both games being to Joe Flacco. Come on. Not to mention, I have a bet with my coworker, $50, so I really would like to win. I don't want to lose $50. Moving on, we have Lions, Chiefs. Lions 4-1, Chiefs 2-3, under the lights on Sunday night. Chiefs back-to-back primetime games as they played Monday night and lost to the Jaguars, while the Lions, we just talked about them, actually blew the Bengals out. Give me the Chiefs. I'm feeling frisky this one. Now, deep down, I think the Lions are going to win this one. I honestly think it might be by multiple scores. But I just don't see a world where the Chiefs start 2-4. So I'm going to take the Chiefs. It's the same thing I said earlier. Being 2-4 is a lot worse than 4-2. So yeah. Monday night, we have 2 of them, 7:15 p.m. First one, Bills 4-1, coming off of a loss to the Patriots, 23-20. And they also have back-to-back as they played Sunday night. Falcons 2-2, they're coming off of a bye week, so a bit refreshed. Now, I do think this bye week plus the Bills' loss is going to help the Falcons out a tremendous amount, but I still think the Bills are going to win this one. However, I think this is going to be a really good game. Finally, we have Bears, Commanders. Last time these two teams played, it was an absolute, amazing game. Bears 2-2, they're coming off of a bye week. Wow, the Commanders are 3-2, coming off of a win over the Chargers, 27-10. This is another one. I'm going to pick the Commanders, but deep down, I feel like the Bears are going to win this one. I don't know how to feel. In my opinion, it's a coin flip. There's one team who's obviously better, but there's one team who, is just telling me that they should win this game. I'm going to go with the better team, though. I'm going to take the Commanders. But don't be surprised if the Bears win. In fact, I want you to come back to this and I told you so. All right. Last thing we're going to do is go over the playoff picture. I do it every episode. So, quickly, no teams have been eliminated or clinched a spot. I mean, we're week 5 going on week 6, so it would be pretty crazy if that happened. Obviously, it's impossible. But, looking at the 1 seeds, we have the Colts and Eagles both at 4-1. At the 2 seeds, we have the Bills and 49ers both at 4-1. At the 7 seeds, we have the Patriots and Vikings both at 3-2. The 3 seeds, we have the Steelers who are 3-1 and Buccaneers who are 4-1. 6 seeds, we have the Broncos and Seahawks, both 3-2. The 4 seeds, we have the Chargers and Lions, Chargers 3-2, Lions 4-1. 5 seeds, we have the Jaguars and Packers, Jaguars 4-1, Packers 2-1-1. And then, no undefeated teams left, obviously. We just lost both of them. But we still have one winless team in the New York Jets. All right, to quickly recap my picks to end this episode off, the teams I have winning are the Eagles, Seahawks, Chargers, Rams, Colts, Cowboys, Patriots, Steelers, Raiders, Buccaneers, Packers, Chiefs, Bills, and Commanders all winning their games, with the Rams being my lock of the week. All right, that is going to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I did. I'll see you guys next time.